A new day begins. And with it, a question: will I meet the hours ahead with intention or impulse? Welcome to Meditations in Motion, where ancient wisdom meets modern life. Take a breath, quiet the noise, and let's begin. This is not a story about perfection. It's about practice. Stoicism is not reserved for philosophers in togas or monks on mountaintops. It's a discipline for everyday people, living ordinary lives, making ordinary decisions, moment by moment. The modern Stoic may wake up to an alarm like anyone else, but before they scroll, they breathe. Before the day rushes in, they pause. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive." This reflection doesn't require incense or silence. It requires presence. The world will soon be loud, but the Stoic doesn't wait for the noise to stop. They learn to carry stillness with them. Some journal, some walk, some pray. Others simply sit with their coffee in quiet thought. There is no one right way to begin the day, only the effort to begin with clarity and reason. In the modern world, Stoicism is not about retreating from society. It is about meeting life as it is, the emails, the errands, the delays, the demands, with a steady mind and a sense of purpose. The modern Stoic may work a 9 to 5. They may raise a child, teach a class, run a business, or study late into the night. Whatever their work, they remember. Do what you must as best you can, with virtue as your guide. Obstacles will come. That is not pessimism, that is preparation. And when they do, the Stoic sees the chance to respond, not react, to practice patience, courage, and wisdom. The impediment to action advances action, Marcus reminds us. What stands in the way becomes the way. By midday, the world is in full motion. Schedules tighten, demands multiply. People interrupt, technology distracts, and the weight of expectation begins to press down. This is the test, not of knowledge, but of practice. The modern Stoic does not expect calm from the outside world. They cultivate it from within. They do not control the actions of others, only how they respond. A sharp word from a colleague, a missed deadline, a long line, a moment of embarrassment or disappointment. All of these are opportunities, not punishments, not proof that life is against us. Opportunities to stay composed, to reframe the situation, to choose our next step with care. Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." And so the Stoic questions their story. Am I seeing clearly, or am I reacting to fear, to pride, to ego? This moment is not ruined unless we choose to see it that way. A modern Stoic may take a walk to reset, step away to breathe, or write down the thought that threatens to spiral. They do not suppress emotion, they examine it. They remind themselves, what is up to me? What is not? And then they return to the task, not perfectly, but deliberately. The afternoon continues. There is work to do, but there is also a life to live, and the Stoic knows. Both are worthy of their full attention. No Stoic is an island. We move through the day surrounded by others, family, friends, co-workers, strangers, each person with their own needs, worries, and flaws. This is where Stoicism becomes more than self-control. It becomes compassion. Epictetus taught, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." The modern Stoic brings presence into every interaction. They aim to listen without rushing to respond, to speak with honesty, not harshness, to disagree without disrespect, to forgive, not because others deserve it, but because resentment is a weight we no longer wish to carry. They remember that each person they encounter is fighting a battle, often invisible. So rather than adding to the noise, they offer steadiness. Rather than matching chaos with chaos, they become the calm in the room. And when conflict does arise, and it will, they step back. They ask, is this worth my peace? Often, it's not. But if it is, then they meet it with courage, not cruelty. As the day begins to slow, the Stoic prepares to close it well. There is no rushing to the finish line, no desperate need to prove or achieve, only the quiet satisfaction of having tried to live with intention. Work ends, tasks are set down, but reflection continues. They might walk again, they might spend time with loved ones, they might cook, read, or simply rest. And as the light begins to fade, they ask themselves, not to judge, but to understand. What did I do well today? Where did I fall short? What can I do better tomorrow? Seneca reminds us, as is a tale, so is life. Not how long it is, but how good it is what matters. And so the modern Stoic prepares for rest, not with regret, but with resolve. Evening comes quietly. The noise of the day softens. The world grows still, if only for a moment. And in that moment, the Stoic turns inward, not to escape, but to examine. The practice of evening reflection is not about guilt, it is about growth. We review not to punish ourselves, but to understand ourselves. What did I face today? How did I respond? Where did I act with virtue, and where did I let impulse lead? No one else needs to see these answers, but we must be brave enough to look. This is how character is forged, not in grand gestures, but in quiet honesty. The Stoic may write or simply think. They may speak their reflections aloud or sit in silence and let the day settle. They remember, they are not their mistakes. They are not their achievements. They are only who they choose to become, and each day is a chance to begin again. Gratitude is not forgotten, for even the hardest day holds lessons, and even the smallest joy is worth noticing. There is no perfect day, only a day well met. As sleep approaches, the Stoic lets go of stress, of ego, of what cannot be changed, and they carry forward only what matters. The will to keep practicing, to keep showing up, to keep becoming. Tomorrow will come, and with it, another chance to live by reason, to act with courage, to choose virtue over comfort. This is the path. This is the practice. This is the life of a modern Stoic. So if today wasn't perfect, that's all right. Perfection was never the goal. The goal was presence, reflection, growth. And if tomorrow you rise with the same quiet resolve to meet life as it is, then you are already walking the Stoic path, not to escape the world, but to live better within it. The Stoics taught that action, not words, shapes who we are. If this video brought you clarity, please share it with someone who needs it and subscribe for more. Not to be entertained, but to remember what matters. Thank you for watching.